Welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of the Galactica Corecast. This is a space for every present and future Galactica Network citizen to have some fun, chat with the team, and learn basically everything you need to know about the very first Cypher State on-chain. So now, before we start, I'd like to make it very much clear that myself, Cosmos Hoss, and AStar up here, anyone who joins us as a member of the team, we are guides to navigating the Cypher State, but we are not your financial advisors. Okay, so all speakers' opinions are their own, and nothing said in this space constitutes financial or investment advice. So now we have that out of the way, we're just going to go around our panel, introduce ourselves. Perhaps Frederick, AStar, if you could just introduce yourself, my friend.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Frederick. On Discord and other platforms, you can also find me as AStar. I'm part of the Galactica development team. So I have a background in computer science. Worked a couple of years in iron robotics and then switched to blockchain some years ago. And but at the moment I'm working mostly on the smart contract side of Galactica, also the zero knowledge integration of our ZK KYC technology, and recently also on the wallet integration. So how users can have self-custody over their zero knowledge document and then create zero knowledge proofs with it on their own machine and so on. Yeah, and I'm happy to be part of the Galactica team because as a developer, I think it's quite cool what technology we're building on, and combining this is really nice because it also unlocks really cool use cases. So I have a feeling that it also is meaningful in some way, and that's quite cool. Yeah, and then I would like to hand over to Hoss.
Hi everyone, Cosmos Hoss here. A little about me is that I've been in this space basically since COVID, and it really fascinates me because my real life background is in accounting and finances, and realistically all a blockchain is a decentralized accounting ledger that you can build really cool, useful applications. And as for like Galactica, there's really taking that to the next level and trying to improve just reputation on chain, KYC, compliancy, just to name just a few little things. But for me recently, I've been really fascinated with like actual technologies that are building tooling out for different use cases other than just DeFi. Like, it's cool. DeFi is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love it. That's my background. But I'm also really intrigued and fascinated on any sort of tooling that can potentially help, I don't want to say disrupt, I guess disrupt is a good word to use, but disrupt the current status of things with how the world is, because it's obviously not working a lot of different things. So we need to try to find something or some sort of solution. And that's why I'm in this space, because I think crypto can basically change everything for the better, in my opinion. So that's why I do this, and I love every moment of it. So that's me.
Fantastic, guys. As always, wonderful to have you up. So Frederick, man, he's always so good on the tech side. I'm just going to tell you right now, he is a wonderful dude, and he is the most technically brilliant dude in the world. So just give him his props whenever he speaks. And Hoss, he's just a madman and an absolute wonderful guy. I just want to give you guys a reminder and a couple of little things about this particular space. So firstly, please, again, just if you want to speak during this space, just request early, okay? And then we can get you up and we can have a nice free-flowing conversation. Secondly, in the future, when we have we'll have like this small introduction part before we actually start the space, as we just did there, where we will be allowing you guys to come up and just have a bit of a banter with us. And anyone who comes up during that initial segment will basically be involved in that round of introductions that we just did. So you guys can get introduced. You can just be part of the first part of the show. It's always going to be great fun. It's just a bit more interaction with you guys. If you do decide to request to speak, don't worry if it takes a little moment to bring you up. Cosmos or myself or AStar or Cosmos will just be wanting to do a quick check just to make sure you're not a bot, that's all, because we've had those before, and they're less fun than anything else in the world. Sorry, please, Fred.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for being here. For us, it's really cool to have the community finally building up after all the months leading up to now for us. And for us, it's really valuable also to get in touch with you, and I'm really grateful for all the feedback that you provide here on Discord or on Twitter. So thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we are really looking forward to getting a bit more in touch with our community and building out the the early adopters of this protocol. I mean, we've just begun our DevNet phase. We are looking forward to testnet. Anyone who's in this space right now is earlier than anyone's ever been early. So yeah, we're looking forward to speaking to you guys. This is going to be a new format show. So we are going to start. Firstly, just a quick reminder. Please retweet and like the space. Super helpful. And if you don't want to come up and speak, then please just drop a comment below and we will read it as we can. So with that, I think we're just going to start. Basically, the first section of this space in general will be a very quick news recap, just so that everyone's kept apprised, everyone's kept informed of what's going on in Web3. So we're going to start that right now before we get onto the Cypher State Program Alpha and all the Galactica Network stuff. Okay, guys, so to begin with, this is the news. On Monday, June 5th, the SEC has finally made good on their threat to sue Binance US and its subsidiaries and Binance founder Changpeng Zhao. The SEC has alleged that Binance US has been trading securities in the form of several high market cap projects, as well as providing staking programs designed to evade lawful US supervision. On Tuesday, June the 6th, the SEC followed up their actions against Binance with a similar suit against yet another major exchange in the form of Coinbase. Binance is not having a good time. Both Changpeng Zhao and Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong have publicly denied all the charges and declared that they will welcome any regulatory clarity that results from these lawsuits. A related development actually occurred today, Friday 9th, as Binance US announced that many of its banking partners are preparing to pause fiat dollar withdrawal channels as early as June 13th. So if you are using Binance US, it's a good idea to take a look at those announcements. You might want to get your money out or put it on decentralized exchanges, one of the two. Various analysts have expressed that this action was to be expected from a hostile SEC and that this is most likely going to take years, not months, to resolve. In more positive news, Louis Vuitton has entered the Web3 space with some seemingly soul-bound gift baskets. I'll have to look into those a bit more closely. And the founders of 3 Iris Capital have apparently spent the last year and a half surfing, so good for them. That was your news, everyone. Thank you for listening. Now let's move on with the show. I hope you all enjoyed that segment. I enjoyed writing it.
Yeah, it felt really. Yeah, I'm sorry, Frederick.
I like it. It was really nice. The audio quality was not perfect when you were speaking, doing the music, but the content was really nice.
I feel like I need to just turn down the music a tad, that's all. I'll fix that on the next one.
Yeah, that was that. It would have been perfect. It was still really good. I liked it. Just to turn the audio just a slight bit, not much, just a little bit, because like it was cool until like the sound would get like kind of higher pitched, you know. But it was good though. Good stuff.
Okay, I got you, man. Feedback received. Okay, guys. So now we're caught up. We'll just be starting on the second segment that will be of this new podcast in the future and now. So that will be basically GNet news. This is Galactica Network news. Every week we'll be providing updates from the team, everyone here, and any updates regarding like any feedback that we might have promised you the previous week. So obviously Galactica Network is a truly citizen-led protocol, and we want your opinions taken into account at every stage of development. So in that vein, we would love to just make sure that if you would like to, please, if anyone would like to speak, just jump up and we will be happy to have a conversation, take questions. And if you don't want to do that, please just ask your questions in the comments. We'll be happy to answer them. So basically today we are looking at telling you guys, or giving you a bit of a primer on the Cypher State program. This is something that we've just recently announced. I believe it was in the last week or so. Essentially it is the very first community initiative for Galactica Network. Now, obviously, we have, as I alluded to previously, we are currently at the stage where we've released our DevNet. We are looking for developers to start giving the back end a bit of a test. I'm sure Frederick can give us a bit more information on that at some point. But we are extremely early in the development process. We are looking at this year for testnet, and we don't have a set in stone roadmap at this point. But we are looking to get the community involved and get feedback, and just get you guys basically contributing and rewarding you for your contributions. So that's what this program is all about. So basically, it's been designed to foster awareness and facilitate participation. And if it's basically a Discord-based community program, and consists of 6 attainable levels currently, each with its own kind of set of requirements and associated benefits that you get from actually attaining those levels. So these can range from anything from like Discord unlocks, like utility unlocks, like being able to post links and being able to use certain channels, all the way up to actually getting your Galactica Network citizenship itself. There are possibilities to be in the actually have access to the earliest distribution waves of citizenship, as well as having the chance to simply be to earn a citizenship itself. So there's some massive value here, and I'll be going into more information on why you would want citizenship very soon. I feel like in this space we're going to be basically monologuing, and that's fine. I'd love to just be able to put forward the information. But if anyone has any specific questions, again, please jump up and just let us know. I think it's probably best if I just give a very quick kind of as quick a rundown as I can on it, and then maybe we'll take some questions after, and maybe Frederick can fill in any technical gaps, and Toss can provide any commentary, or maybe provide some questions himself if he has any. We got this Discord-based Cypher State campaign. All you actually really need to do, from your point of view, is jump on our Discord channel. You'll be able to find the link in the pinned comment above, I believe. So in the pinned comment, we actually have a YouTube short that we released today. That has a very quick introduction to the Cypher State campaign. I very thoroughly recommend watching it. It should also include the Discord links, the Zeely quest board, and the Notion website, which contains all the information for the campaign. So once you've jumped onto Discord and you've verified, all you actually need to do to start earning experience and all this kind of thing, you need to do the basic quests on the Zeely board. So you can find the Zeely quest board in the corner of the Discord channel. And once you're on Zeely, you just simply need to complete these 4 or 5 really basic quests. So the first 5 quests, I think, are things like following us on Twitter, joining the Discord, which you've already done to get there, joining the Telegram news channel, and subscribing to the Galactica newsletter. Once you've done that, you'll be able to just basically go back on Discord and have a bit of a chat. So you can just chill out, have a bit of a chat, and that will, after maybe, I don't know, I think it's about maybe 10 sentences or something, maybe more than that, you'll be able to get your attaché role on Discord, and that will unlock everything else, basically. So that will unlock your ability to work through the campaign. So yeah, once you've got this, once you've got the attaché role on Discord, you will. This is just essentially to ensure a minimal kind of social contribution to progress, to the further ranks and unlock more quests. We just don't want a bunch of bots coming in and just spamming the whole thing, you know. So this is kind of just a bit of civil resistance there, to be honest. So basically, all you need to do is just introduce yourself, ask a question or two, and you'll get the attaché role. And then after that, like I say, you'll be able to jump back onto Zealy and start actually really working through the quests. Now there are, I think I already alluded to, there are six ranks you can achieve. So the first one will be Equilibrium. I believe we already have a couple of Equilibrium ranks. I think we even have one in the chat right now, Sense Slayer. So hi man, welcome. I'm glad to see you. And we'll be looking forward to seeing some more Equilibrium members soon. Essentially, Equilibrium is the very first rank. It doesn't have a huge amount of utility. It's just to say, you know, I'm on the train. I'm with Galactica Network, and I'm working towards the new stuff. So it gives you the ability to post links again. So you earn that because you're clearly not a bot if you've earned the rank. As far as the next ranks, those are where it gets interesting. So once you've got to the second rank, which is called Ghosts in the Chain, you'll have the ability to earn things like soul shard drops, which are soulbound NFTs, which you will earn for various, like participating in various events. I'm not going to give away too much because it's very special, and I'll probably get hit on the head by my boss if I say too much. But by these, you'll be earning some participation NFTs in a lot of these ranks. You'll also gain certain privileges in Discord, of course, and crucially, once you get to the second rank, you will have the opportunity to actually participate in your first GNC wave, which will be Wave 3. This is basically the GNC waves. So like this is basically the time when you'll be able to get your passport, whether regardless of whether it's earned or whether it's bought through a citizenship auction. The waves determine when you can actually obtain your passport. So hopefully everyone is with me so far. If you have any questions so far, I realize there's a lot of information and I'm kind of monologuing a bit because you know we only have the three hosts right now, and I also want to give you as much information as I can, just spark as much conversation as we can if we want to. So you know, I'm going to stop there for a second. Frederick, if you have anything that you want to like clarify, then please raise your hand. And Hoss, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay, if that's okay, or if you just want to just speak freely, that's fine too. Yeah, Frederick, what's up?
Maybe just as a bit more context, why we're doing this civil resistance part on Discord now is because a lot of the Galactica tech that we're building also builds kind of the infrastructure that we need to get KYCs on chain, and therefore also have a kind of secure way to authenticate that this blockchain account is a real person. But in the process of getting there, we have something else in place. So this building up and climbing the ranks is kind of the pre-program that gives you a jump start. And as soon as Galactica goes into the public testnet and the public mainnet, it will transition into a more final system that happens then on the blockchain. Just I wanted to add that I think that might be interesting for people to know that we're not forever guarding access to citizenship like this. Later it will be more open and more easy to get it.
Absolutely not. Well said, Frederick. And yeah, this is very clearly just a pre-program. I should have made that very much clearer. As stated before, like I say, we are early. We are at DevNet testing here. This is a very early stage in the development of the network, and this program is kind of it solves a lot of problems. It kind of attempts to solve a lot of problems. One of which is trying to identify those people who are really interested in the protocol and who want to support it, and who we can collaborate with to to reward them for helping us. So it's a really good mechanism for us determining like the truly early members of the community who are going to be with us for years and years to come. This is the ground floor stuff. And this program is just designed to reward you guys for being here so early. And hopefully, if you can provide the value in return of just basically helping us with our either our social or our technical development, it's a wonderful thing. Yeah, Frederick, please.
One more small thing I would like to add, where I think that this pre-program we have, building up reputation, climbing the ranks, is so important for Galactica, is because maybe you have seen it on the website that governance and reputation is quite a central part. And with this pre-program, we're basically also building up the community and the reputation of it. And the idea is that when the blockchain starts and gets public, that you can also bring over this reputation and use it in the governance voting. So that right from the beginning, we can have governance votes about blockchain parameters and so on, and already use the reputation you build up to kind of give the people who are more involved a little bit more voting power.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I mean, if you haven't already read all our documentation, and I don't blame you, there's an awful lot of it. Reputation is one of the fundamental aspects of the Galactica Network chain. Being able to one of the aspects that having reputation on chain enables is a form of meritocratic governance. That reputation in combination with civil resistance enables that. And having meritocratic governance basically means that everyone has a fair voting power, but on certain topics and certain votes, perhaps specialized votes, where technical expertise or some other form of expertise is required and can be proven on chain, then those users who have that expertise proven on chain gain a merit-weighted voting power that's higher than most, like the standard user, and that's to ensure that those votes are that the most qualified people have the greatest say in those votes. For obvious technical reasons, it makes a lot of sense to do that in a meritocratic environment. So yeah, thank you for that, Frederick. I appreciate that. Yes, reputation, but so we're importing that reputation from the program. Some of it, at least. I'm not entirely sure of the metrics on that and the technicalities of it. I'm sure we'll figure that out in a future cast. But also, we will. The other part of reputation is that we can import it into our chain. At some point, we'll probably be able to export it to other chains. The Galactica Network reputation framework is large and very impressive, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it once you get the practical benefits of it. Hoss, mate, you've got your hand up, please.
Yeah, so I mean, like in this space, most people they prefer and like NFTs. So for like the soul-bound tokens, like I'm assuming if it's like an event or an activity, it's almost like POPs, like proof of attendance protocol, where you get like some sort of badge, or is that what it's going to kind of be like? Where then the person on the other end can, it could say like instead of just showing like view NFTs, it could say like view soulbound tokens, and then they can click it, and then they can like look at all their different achievements like aesthetically, or is it just going to be most of it's just going to be like in like a token. I'm just confused a little bit about that. And then the second part is that I'm assuming the chain's CosmWasm, so that would be interoperable with everything throughout Cosmos, and then they can easily deploy, like the governance system or the reputation. I don't want to say governance, but like the reputational part of it. So then it's easier for people to participate and also get rewarded for participating within other blockchains. So I like that part of it, because even right now, like crypto governance is like a million times better than just like real life governance, but still it seems really clunky and antiquated, and definitely needs like a facelift. I know there's different things out there, like DAO is making some really cool tooling, and I don't want to say really making it, it's already really cool and useful, but still when it comes to reputation on chain, like myself, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I basically devote pretty much my life to crypto, especially within Cosmos. And there's other people too that do like a fantastic job in different little niches within Cosmos. And a lot of people know who they are, but you don't get like certain, I guess, benefits when it comes to voting. It's still kind of like the old school way where it's like, hey, whoever has the most financial wherewithal gets more votes because they own more Atom or they own more of this and that. And like, I think there needs to be somewhat of a blend. It shouldn't just always necessarily be like, okay, well, this person has $1 million worth of staked Atom. Yeah, obviously they should have a little bit more weight than someone that just owns like a couple Atom. I mean, that just doesn't make sense for it not to be. But for someone else that maybe they have like 10,000 or $10,000 worth or something, but they're like a part of everything. They're in this community, that community. They're like helping out. They're volunteering. They're doing Twitter Spaces. They're doing all these different things. Like that person should have way more reputation than that person that just owns like $1 million and does nothing for the ecosystem besides just supply financial wherewithal, but has like really, they're not doing anything. They're not doing spaces and getting people together and voting on everything and stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of pros, and I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't really see any cons with a new facelift, so to speak.
Absolutely, man. No, I agree. One thing, I'll just say that I think I've kind of lost track of what your first two questions were because you always make such good points, Hoss. But the thing is, if you ask me a question at the beginning, I forgot what the question was.
Yeah, no, I get carried away. But my like first couple, just like simplistic, aesthetically looking things. So, the soulbound tokens, I completely understand the premise of it. It's more about it's almost like right now there's a protocol for those out there that don't know what it's called. It's called POP, POAP. And you go to these crypto events and they're like, hey, scan this QR code. And then you get this like cool looking little badge. It's like, hey, I was at the Central Con or I was at this. And then it's like in your wallet, like your MetaMask or whatever. Then it shows that you were there.
Yeah.
So
okay. So yes, there will be such things. One of the things that is planned in the Cypher State campaign itself, I think you can actually do it from rank 2. You can end up with some form of participation in NFTs. These will be again for various events. I can't give away too much. It's unfortunate, but various events they'll be popping up some quests or some other methods of earning these participation NFTs, and there'll be no financial strings attached or anything like that. But they'll be beneficial in some way or another in the future, I imagine. So yeah, Frederick, you have your hand up, mate.
Maybe one technical thing to add is that in Galactica we have different kinds of NFTs. So one is the standard Ethereum-like token, which can be made soulbound and is, as you said, a really nice way to visually show that this account has achieved something or attended the Galactica conference or something like this. But another soulbound token that is hidden in a Merkle tree, and you can prove with a zero-knowledge proof that you have this token, but without disclosing any data. So later down the line, we can then, for example, build up some reputation functions for having attended, I don't know, at least 5 Twitter spaces or something like this, without you actually needing to disclose which Twitter spaces you were part of. And this then is nice because it gives you the reputation of having done a social contribution without losing the privacy that, I don't know, someone could track these 5 Twitter spaces and then figure out who was in all of them. And I think this is also something that we are bringing up down the line as we are getting closer to the mainnet launch.
Again, well put, Fred. Before I just get into this topic, because it's a very important one, I just want to just give everyone, we've got a few more people on the stage, in the space. If you could just jump down and give us a like and a retweet, that would be super helpful for us to get the space out to more people. Really appreciate that. Also, if you would like to come up to speak, please request. We are an open space. We have an open floor. So if you want to come up and ask a question, please do. Or if you just want to have a chat, that's fine too. If you don't want to do that and you just want to ask a question still, just jump down to the comments and we'll give it a read and we'll see what we can do to answer your question. On this subject, obviously privacy is one of the foundational pillars of Galactica Network. One of our entire goals is to be able to allow everyone to transact both with their financial and social capital in a private manner, but basically as private as can possibly be on a blockchain through zero-knowledge cryptography. And basically you are completely private unless there is some regulatory or compliance issue and some requesting entity has a legal basis to request such a thing. And even then, the governance aspect, the Galactica Network governance has to be unanimous in allowing that information to leave the chain. So basically, unless you are a terrible actor, like a really, really bad actor in the space, then you are private and you can control your data. You decide where it goes. You decide who knows what you're doing, and you have a massive amount of composability on how you actually interact with the chain. It's quite incredible. Privacy is something that is near and dear to our hearts.
And maybe one thing to add, I don't know how visible it is if you want to contribute in Twitter space and you want to speak. I think Twitter has still the limitation that you need to do it on the smartphone app. So either on Android or iOS, you can request the permission to speak. I think in the browser it does not work yet. So if you're in the browser listening to the space, I think a comment is the easiest way to send us a question.
Man, you have no idea how many times that caught me out early on. It's ridiculous. Why can't you do it from desktop? It's crazy. I think what I'll just do now is if we haven't got any questions in the comments and we don't have any more speakers, I'll just go a bit more into the Cypher State Campaign, if everyone's okay with that, just to give you guys a bit more context even than we've already given you. We got to the point where we can go to Zeely. And we can start working through all these wonderful ranks and gaining all the benefits that those ranks unlock. So once you get to like the higher ranks, obviously the higher ranks they're difficult. They're not super easy to get to. They're going to take some time to get to. They're going to require quite a bit of experience, a lot of interaction on Discord, and a lot of XP through Zeely. And there's a reason for that, because they're highly valuable in our opinion. So obviously, again, nothing that we say on this space is financial advice, but we believe that some of the stuff that's on offer in the higher ranks is of value in our opinion. Some of the things that you get, obviously, we mentioned in the lower ranks, you can get these participation rewards in the forms of NFTs, and you can, even in rank 2, you can gain access to to wave 3 of the Galactica Network citizenship distribution waves. So that's a lot of value there, even in itself, even at just rank 2. But at rank 3 and at rank 4, you can start getting the ability to, instead of just earning access to a distribution wave, you can earn the citizenship passport itself. So that will be airdropped to you. And this is like our Galactica Network citizenships are basically the most important and valuable part of our ecosystem. They represent your citizenship on chain, and they allow you to do all the fancy fun stuff that we mentioned in our documents, our many documents. It's a really important aspect of the chain. So for instance, in rank 3, if you get to the AStar.gala rank, you'll gain access to, you'll basically get airdropped to Wave 3 Galactica Network citizenship, assuming that you basically hit all the targets. You hit all the targets, and that you are the supply is still there for them, because even in Wave 3 there is a very limited supply of these Galactica Network citizenships to go around. Obviously, in the lower waves, there's even less, but in Wave 3 there's still a very limited supply of these citizenship passes. So as well as getting access, as well as getting airdropped, the opportunity to get an airdrop for the Wave 3, you also get the opportunity to participate in the Wave 2 distribution. So you can see how this is going to work. As you go up in ranks, you get access to one, and you get the ability to participate in a lower wave. So again, in Wave 4, you have the ability to get airdropped a Wave 2 GNC. So you get your GNC in Wave 2, and you have the ability to actually participate in Wave 1 of the GNC distributions. Now, Wave 1 is the same tier, just for reference, for everyone who doesn't quite understand. Wave 1 is actually the tier that we offer to our institutional partners and our exchange partners, that kind of thing. So that's again, no financial advice. It's just we believe there's value there. Okay, so now we kind of understand how the ranks work, how you achieve them. Obviously, I won't go into the details of every single Zeely quest because they're pretty self-explanatory. Some of them are more difficult than others, but they're pretty self-explanatory. We've gone through all the ranks. Maybe I'll just say again, please, if you would like to request, I love monologuing. I'm absolutely fine with it. Don't worry. I love the sound of my own voice. But if you would like to request to speak, please do. And if you don't want to speak, but you do want to ask a comment, just drop it down below in the comments. While you're down there, like and retweet the space. It would help us. So I think what we'll do is, as long as Hoss or Frederick, as long as you guys don't have anything else to say at this point, I'll just give you that opportunity now. So I'm just going to move on to why you might actually want citizenship in and of itself. Okay, it looks like we're good.
Yeah, that's nice, because that's also what I was thinking about next.
Wonderful. All right, man. We'll get straight onto it then. So all of this stuff, I think you've probably all got the idea that the Galactica Network citizenship is the primary, like it's the biggest value in the Galactica Network ecosystem. Again, it provides you citizenship. It allows you to interact with compliant dApps. It allows you to identify yourself without having to give away any information through ZK cryptography. It allows you to run a validator. It allows you to participate in governance. It's just so incredibly utilitarian. What I'll say is Galactica Network citizenship, at its core, it represents the very first, we think, protocol citizenship. So essentially, you can think that you have a passport to your nation state. I'm a native Brit. I'm not in the UK at the moment, but I'm a native. I have a British passport. I have a British passport, and I will have a Galactica Network passport. They achieve the same kind of thing. Essentially, the passport that I would have of a Galactica Network, it would give me certain rights and responsibilities. So some of those I've just discussed. But before I move on, the citizenship itself is actually represented on-chain by a ZK certificate, which is essentially a soul-bound token. So issued by a smart contract and notarized by a private, decentralized KYC guardian. So that's how we get the citizenships actually on-chain. Just going to double check, Frederick, I was right there. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe just a small thing I would like to add is that even though there's this citizen concept that is basically locking some features like becoming a validator, I just wanted to explain why we're doing that, because the goal is still to have a permissionless blockchain where everyone can use it, and we're going to use the proof of stake consensus based on Cosmos SDK as a tenement. But we also think that there's still a lot of room for improvement left, because what we are seeing in other blockchains like Ethereum or Cardano or wherever is that even proof of stake leads to some kind of centralization when all the money gets thrown into one pool, like Lido Finance, and then you have these big centralized portions which kind of also introduce a risk to the system. And our approach is to add a bit of civil resistance there. So maybe if you don't know what civil resistance is, it's basically a kind of threshold that makes it hard for people to run a lot of copies or bots on the system and try to take over the system like this. And what we are doing is that we are using social inputs like the rank and all the contributions you did on Discord, proving that you're human with the zero knowledge KYC later. And this allows us to build a better system where such centralization doesn't happen that easily, and where a lot of different personal validators can spin up and don't have to compete with a big stake pool that centralizes it. Yeah, maybe I went a bit off rails, but sorry. I just wanted to add a bit of context.
Not at all, Frederick. That's actually super useful. It really is. Apologies if you hear my baby in the background, by the way. She's up. She's crying. But that's fine. Essentially, yes. So Sybil resistance is one of the, again, another key aspect. There's too many key aspects, aren't there? But there's a lot of, it's a key aspect of the protocol. When you combine Sybil resistance and reputation on chain, you get this ability to build out social primitives that you just couldn't on a financially based on a blockchain where only financial transactions can really occur. So, for instance, on Ethereum or on Bitcoin or anything else, you just don't have the ability to represent people accurately on chain, and that's what one of the other things that we're trying to do is accurately represent identities on chain. Not necessarily, my name is Dave or like my name is Pete or anything like that on chain, but just the concept of having a unique persistent identity that's based on its reputation. So its reputation informed by its transactions, its previous history, all of this, it's accumulated zero knowledge certificates. All of this history that builds up to a reputation that informs your persistent identity, and then that persistent identity can transact on chain using zero knowledge cryptography to transact with this social capital freely, without limits, with compliant dApps, with all sorts of other things, all sorts of other interesting dApps and stuff on chain. But like Frederick said, we're not trying to gatekeep this. This is, you can still build up reputation and stuff without even having citizenship. This is an open permissionless network, just like most blockchains are attempting to do. It's just with the citizenship, it allows for an entirely new layer of reputation and compliance-based transactions that just blows everything else out of the water, in my opinion. So hopefully we've kind of given you a bit of a background there of one of the other fundamental aspects of Galactica Network. And I'm sorry there's so many, but we've got an awful lot to try and achieve here. So yeah, with that, we've me and Frederick have monologued for a bit. So I'll just offer again, guys. Thank you for coming to the space. We really appreciate seeing you here, especially in the first space. I actually wasn't expecting so many people, to be honest. So what I'll just ask you if you could jump down into the comments, give us a like, give us a retweet. We'll get more people in here to get the conversation going. And if you would like to jump up, then please do. technically speaking, this space that we've created here is going to be the community space. So the Galactica Network community space on a Friday. And we really want to get this conversation freely flowing. And we're really looking forward to speaking to some of you guys and speaking to our early community members. We've just actually got another one up. So welcome to the stage, Senth. It's really good to have you. I've actually noticed that Senth is actually one of our very first Equilibrium rank members in Discord. So welcome, man. Thank you. If you want to say hi, please do.
Hey, thanks, dude. It's 4 a.m. over here, so not super vocal, but I appreciate the spaces. And yeah, don't really know what to say other than we're early, and I'm super early as well. What you guys are building is super technical. My background's not blockchain related. It's actually Web3, like Cosmos Haas was saying. NFTs, Web3 gaming really got me into this space, and I'm keen to know more. I guess I did have a question about soulbound tokens. I guess like they're bound to your wallet in some way, and I just wonder what happens if your wallet gets compromised, which has happened to me about 1.5 years ago, unfortunately. But I guess would you make a new wallet and send or transmit all that information onto a person's new wallet that they make, and everything gets passed over?
Well,
I'm not very technical, so
no, that's fine, man. That's a really good question. I believe I'm sure Frederick will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if your wallet is compromised, just like in almost any other circumstance in blockchain, if you lose your seed phrase, especially, you've probably lost access to that account. And now, this is one of those situations where there is actually a new solution that would be enabled by some of the tech that Galactica Network is bringing forward, and that's basically social recovery of your wallet. That's where you could provide any number of encrypted pieces of your keys to trusted counterparties. So your friends, your DAO, through its governance, or maybe your DAO members, or something like that. Any number of people, and then when you lose, if you've lost your keys, then through governance procedures, those entities could restore access to your wallet for you. That's only possible in a chain where social transactions can occur on chain. It just can't happen when there's only financial transactions going on. So yeah, that's one solution that Galactica actually enables for that. But in general, it's the same on Galactica as any other blockchain, in which if you lose access to your keys, then you've got an issue.
Got you. I guess my issue was particularly I didn't lose access to my wallet, but my wallet was compromised. Things just leaked out of my wallet against my will. So it's more that I didn't want to access that wallet anymore, rather than I was locked out of it and wasn't allowed access thereafter. But I might as well be, because I wasn't about to put anything else into that wallet, given it was already kind of compromised.
No, that's completely fair. Yeah. I'm sure. I think he's just put his hand up. Frederick, please, if you have more to add, mate.
Yeah. Thanks for the intro. I think that's a really important question, because blockchains, in my opinion, are really cool from the technology, and that you can have self-custody about the tokens on there, but it also brings this other side of usability not being that easy, and it's possible to make mistakes. I think what's coming up there with social recovery is a good thing, but I would hope that it gets a bit further and easier to use in the future. So a lot of what we're building on Galactica is also based on EVM, smart contracts, where, for example, there are the first abstracted accounts where you can have social recovery, that you have, for example, members of your friends and family who can support you to transition this account to another melodic account that can control it or something like this. Yeah, so I really like the point. But I think at the moment, Galactica in this regard is not much further than the other blockchains. The only advantage we have is that we want to provide more of this social background and proving who you are in a private way that can, I think, simplify building solutions for social recovery.
Yeah, gotcha. Appreciate the answer.
You're welcome, man. I'm really thankful for the questions, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where we are basically trying to provide the best ability, like the best base layer you can have. Let's say, so all these most current blockchains only have this financial aspect, and we are looking to build out the social aspect so that we can have a lot more options in this kind of like nuanced use case. Obviously, we haven't thought of every single use case that can be solved with our tech. We're just building out the best base layer L1 that we can, in order that we'll figure out as much as we can. But there's so much that you can do when you actually have a social layer on blockchain that it's frankly just overwhelming, and we can't figure out every single use case. But if we can figure out a use case in which as Frederick insinuates that it could be possible to recover your keys in a way like that. Sorry, Hoss.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, having a social recovery method is already more than what the Ethereum blockchain had when it happened to me before. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It's absolutely a game changer. Sorry, Hoss, mate, please carry on.
No, I was going to ask Sen a couple questions. So, like, the first question I was going to ask you is, if you don't mind, like, kind of displaying like what happened that you got compromised. Was it a bad smart contract? Because I heard you say earlier you're into NFTs. So did you like try to do a free mint or something that happened, or?
Yeah, there was a lot of mayhem. I think it was about a year and a half ago, like right in the NFT kind of bull. There was just projects left, right, and center. A lot of free mints. So I was still quite new. So then I was interacting on way too many contracts at any one given time. So I couldn't even tally which exact site it happened on. But at some point, someone would have gained access to my wallet. Probably not full access, but I read in further where some malicious contracts can just create an action that happens, like any one of these NFTs will get drained as soon as it comes into your wallet per se.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I was gonna say, because like luckily none of that has happened yet in Cosmos, because like how the tech stack is and Merkle proofs and all this other things. But I mean, I know myself, like the way I am, I love NFTs, and one of my non-financial advice goals was like, all right, I'm gonna get an NFT on every blockchain that I think is gonna be around in like 10 years from now. Even if I don't really like do much on that blockchain, but I just want to go find some cool art and some communities, and like I'll go through the whole rigmarole of getting like another wallet and doing all that. And then I was like, one time I had a really cool Solana NFT. It was like worth a lot, and then like since I was a holder, and it was actually on Phantom Wallet, like it was literally on their wallet. It was like, hey, there's this free mint, like, and I was on the wallet, so I figured, because I'm so used to Kepler and Cosmos, like there's not going to be any scams at all. I don't want to say it's impossible, but as of right now, it's pretty much impossible. So like I was on Phantom Wallet, and I was like half out of it. Like you said, it's 4:00 in the morning. It was like something like that with me. I was like, I just put the whole day, and I was like, all right, let me do this free mint. I clicked this, the same thing, smart contract. And the person just drained all my soul. And like at the time, it was like that's when Solana was like still really worth a lot, and I had like a decent amount of Solana, and just all gone just like that. And then I was just like, I learned my lesson, and it's sad that things like that happen. And like but it's kind of not that I'm happy that that happened to you, but like I'm pretty sure you probably kind of learned your lesson too. Like, all right, I'm gonna like really look
Oh,
at stuff
absolutely,
before I
mate.
just start clicking stuff
Yeah,
around. And you
yeah.
know, and another thing for anyone that's listening, it's kind of always a good thing to kind of do to like have first off have multiple wallets, but then if you're like an NFT person, perhaps just like put funds into that wallet that you're only going to like mint NFTs, or for that contract you just use it once. And I get it's a little bit harder on Ethereum because like Ethereum gas prices are not fun at times, and
Mm.
but but I'm glad
But it's
everything.
worth it in the long run. even
No,
even even if it means $100, I mean, it's better than like getting drained for however much you have in your wallet at that time. It's always a lot more than 100.
yeah, totally. Like I do all kind of different safety measurements. Like I have so many wallets, and just in case, like I randomly messed up and clicked on a smart contract or something that I shouldn't have done, and at least if that wallet, you know, sadly happens, something bad happens, that I have all these other wallets that, you know, it's like, all right, because like you don't want to. I always say don't put your all your eggs in one basket. It's kind of like that even with your wallet. Like don't have everything in the same wallet because like just in case anything happens, it's like it's terrible. So um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
it's definitely taught me about best practice in wallet hygiene, for sure.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, I appreciate you stopping by, and yeah, I'm glad it's so cool. Like pat yourself on the back for a couple things. Like one, being in this
Surviving
space.
it.
Yeah, surviving it, being in this space right now during these conditions, and still like trying to learn and grow, and also finding Galactica like really, really early. Because I think like I've been in this space for a while, and I think what they're building out is actually really useful and can bring value to like every blockchain that's doing whatever they're doing, whether it's a financial hub or whatever their sort of use case is. And I think you know, it's cool to be here. So congrats on that. So
Yeah, and I fully agree to the team as well. It's not really a question, but more of a comment on what you guys are doing. I love it. I love it. Having your own persistent identity makes so much sense, especially having been in the NFT space for a year and a half. It's just so sorely is the thing that's missing. And it's probably the only way I can say it, but it's good that someone's building it out. And I guess there was a question that I wanted to ask on behalf of a couple of the Discord guys. One guy asked how does OccamFi and Swissborg kind of intermingle with Galactica Network, and I think someone answered the OccamFi relationships on the Discord, and just I can see a few Borgers in the Twitter space as well. Shout out to the Borgers, one of the first projects that I was involved in that got me onto the blockchain. So if anyone knows, it'll be great to know what some of the relationships are between Swissborg and Galactica Network as well. I said I was gonna ask for one of the boys in Discord, so here I am, 4 a.m. shouting out.
4 a.m., man, you're crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, well, it's one of the Discord. It's what we do. It's what we NFT bros do. If there's a quest that I'm gonna have to attend one of these spaces, then it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
yeah, like I like to say, it's the freaking weekend. I'm just trying to have some fun. So you know,
Yeah, man.
it's all good.
Likewise, likewise.
Okay, yeah. So on your question, basically, what I can tell you, it's probably a bit limited, but I can tell you some things. Essentially, the partnership that we have with most of our partners, to be honest, is a research-based relationship. So you know, we're researching ZK. Decentralized society is a big one because it's such a new field. Like actually getting people represented on chain and with some form of fair governance. Using both the financial and social sides of things. It's just a whole new paradigm which has not really been tested as a from an L1 perspective yet. So there's multiple projects that are trying to do it. We're one of them. Obviously, we're the best. I'm not biased at all, but you know, it's one of those things that's just very new and requires a lot of research, a lot of help. So the OccamFi team and our team, we've had relationship for a long time. I can't remember exactly when the relationship started, but I've actually personally been I was a part of the OccamFi team a while back, and there's been a lot of like just interaction between the two teams for a long time. So yeah, from that side, from the OccamFi side, it's kind of like a research based partnership right now. We're looking at other things, but it's mostly research right now. And then obviously we have several other partners, which I'm sure one at least of which you can probably have some inkling of, which there will be even more coming on in the relative future. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can give you on stage on this one, Sam.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Looks like we've got another person requesting, so 2 seconds. Okay, and we have Crypto Native on stage. Welcome, man. Well, hopefully, I'm not sure if he's up yet.
There he goes.
Welcome to the stage, Native. Nice to have you.
Yeah, hey guys. First of all, can you hear me? I tried to hook up a microphone and it's not really working, so I'm not sure how clear we good.
That's good. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, look, yeah, Sen, I feel you there, mate. Waking up at 4 a.m. to listen to these things. I've done it plenty of times in my time zone. But you know, it's always great, Galactica. You guys putting on some pretty good Twitter spaces. I've listened to a few of them. Look, I and love the project too. I mean, you know, it's so ambitious. It's such a big project from the outside looking in, and touching on your point earlier. I think Galactica is almost only limited by the developers that may come on board and their imagination. It almost seems. As to what they could do on this layer one. But look, at a quick question. I have to put my hand up here. Early in the in crypto days for me, I participated in in a project where if you held one of their tokens in one of your wallets, you'd get an NFT, which was quite valuable. And for me, I thought, I wasn't sure how this would work. I had a few wallets anyway. This was on the Cardano network. So I spread a couple of tokens out over a few wallets. Not really in the spirit of the game. I put my hand up there, but received a couple of NFTs in those different wallets. I'm assuming the way the Galactica is built, that will cut that sort of thing out and make the space a bit fairer.
I can answer that in a couple of parts. So obviously,
if that
when
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get your point. From when we get to mainnet, okay. So once Galactica is on mainnet, that kind of thing will be a child's play. It's already a concept that's been discussed before. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of it. They're called soul drops. And they're essentially, they're one of these things. One of the primary use cases of the soulbound token kind of narrative is that you can have these drops which are as long as you implement them correctly, have some form of Sybil resistance as well. It's possible, yes. As far as like what we're doing now with the Cypher State Campaign, there are probably ways that people can in some way game the system right now. Obviously, we're not going to tell you what they are, but there are. We are actually looking right now, this second, researching a couple of options for introducing Sybil resistance to the 3rd and 4th ranks to prevent people actually doing that and getting like super early Galactica Network citizenships and like the early waves without having. Basically, you would need to have one account if we implement what we're thinking of implementing. So that will be very bullish, in my opinion, because exactly because of the reasons you just stated.
Yeah. That was more related to, I guess, the project in question. If that was built on Galactica Network, I guess when you guys were fully built out, that probably wouldn't be possible for me because I guess that pseudonymous nature would be eradicated to some degree, I guess. Because I'd only have one identity linked to these different wallets. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
That's right, yeah. And you would only have one human ID amongst your various persistent identities, if I'm correct, Frederick.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, we already worked with in the documentation, and the core idea behind it is basically that At some point, you want to get a zero-knowledge KYC, meaning that you go to one of the KYC guardians that check your real-life documents and then issue this zero-knowledge KYC token on-chain, where you basically can prove statements about your private data in privacy using zero-knowledge. And this basically then is the foundation of data that we need to implement something like that a human can prove that his account is unique, and that if he uses another account, he can still do the proof, but it would result with the same human ID. So this then is the Sybil resistance we'll get once the network goes live.
Cool, beautiful, guys. Thanks for that.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for the question. So yeah, I mean, on that point as well, I mean, again, there's so much information to actually try and disperse that we're never going to get through it all in one space. But Sybil resistance itself on Galactica Network, it's kind of like a constant evolution. It's one of these things where we kind of bootstrap the Sybil resistance of the network at the beginning using the citizenship. We'll have a base, a core of users who will be privately KYC'd in a decentralized manner and at the start, which will provide a really good base of Sybil resistance. And then even if you don't have citizenship, your persistent identity over time will simply increase in complexity to the point where it will become kind of a ridiculous proposition to try and duplicate it using a Sybil attack or a Sybil style attack. Sybil resistance on Galactica Network will basically go from really high to ridiculous over time, and we're really looking forward to the kind of use cases that actually enables having that kind of really bulletproof Sybil resistance. Okay, guys. Are there any more questions, or if I would just like to just do a quick reset, I guess. We're kind of at the top of the hour. In fact, we're past the top of the hour right now. If you would like if you could help us out by just jumping down to the bottom of the space, giving us a like and a retweet on the space. You just need to hit the comments button at the bottom. If you have any questions, just jump in the comments. If you want to request to speak, please do. We're probably going to go on for another 10, 12 minutes, I imagine, because I don't want to take anyone's time too long. No, I'm always happy with a long space, but I don't want to take too much time. And there's an awful lot to get through. So we'll probably have to spread this over next week's episode as well. If you have a question, please. Hoss, please, you have your hand up.
It wasn't more of a question. It was just more of like a statement. So like for anyone out there, like I do 10 hours or so a day and talk to basically almost nearly every developer in Cosmos, which at this point there's like 60 different blockchains. And the point is that essentially we're going to need some sort of middle ground with like privacy and compliancy. It can't just be one or the other, or just completely anonymous and things like that. For people that actually have a lot of money that are going to want to get into this space, there needs to be tolling sets out there for them to get in. You don't get to know, like you and I don't get to know, like, hey, that's so and so's wallet, but there needs to be protocols in place where people would know like that wallet's legitimate, that person actually exists, and there's a way, like we said here, if they were a wrong actor or a bad actor, that their information could get disseminated to like the people that would actually need it to further pursue some sort of wrong action or whatever. But that doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, some random person within the ecosystem gets to know like, oh, that's that person. And one of the problems that I have like in this space in general is the fact that it is so transparent, but at the same time, like I like NFTs and all this, but imagine having like a Bored Ape and they're like, okay, this wallet here has a Bored Ape and it's worth whatever it's worth. Let's just like keep stalking this person and try to find out who exactly it is. And then it just becomes more of an unsafe and security measurement issue in this space. Like I'm really a privacy advocate, and Anything that's trying to go against my privacy, whether that's politically or just in real life or just in this space, I really don't like it. But that doesn't mean this is going against my privacy. It's actually tooling to actually make it more safe and legitimate in this space to move it forward. And, we see all these things that are going on with, they're trying to crack down, and then you have like the Gary Gensler saying like crypto is only for scam artists and all this stuff, and it's completely untrue. Like, more people in this space are not scamming people. They're trying to build out future tooling to just basically improve every aspect of our life that we exist, because everything we're doing right now in humanity is pretty much antiquated, and this technology is proven. It's going to keep moving forward. It's going to keep improving. And that's just like my last thoughts and comments on just the generality of what Galactica is building, and like just my experience in this space, and then using my real life experience in finance and accounting and things of that nature. So that's all.
Well said, sir. Well said. Absolutely. Blockchain is the future, no doubt at all. Like I say, I think we are just trying to get to the point where it matures now. So we've kind of like as an industry, we've built out this incredible decentralized financial rails over the last 15 years, whatever it is. It's gone on before then, but we'll say 15 years ish. But now we're kind of getting to the point where we're starting to get not just the financial, but again with protocols like Galactica Network, we're getting the social on chain. That means that we can not just have like the best financial rails in the world, we can have the best governance rails in the world, and that's just it just blows my mind sometimes, the stuff that we're building. So I'm looking forward to the future, Haas. You're so right. Okay, guys. So as I said before, we're kind of at the top of the hour. I'm just gonna give basically a quick recap, just for anyone who's new. By the way, anyone who is new, please give a like and a retweet on the space. For anyone new, I'm just going to do a quick recap of the Cypher State campaign as like in as brief a way as I can, just so you guys have an idea of what we're doing. Because we've given away a lot of information today, so let's try and summarize it a little bit, give you a bit of a TLDR. So basically, the Cypher State campaign, you can jump up to the top of this space. You can see there's a pinned tweet on the jumbotron, whatever you want to call it. That is the first tweet that we sent out for this Cypher State campaign. There's a lot of information there. There's all the links you'll probably need. Essentially, it's our very first community initiative. It's designed to basically reward our most active and valuable and loyal and early supporters. So basically, you guys, anyone in this space right now is as early as they get. We are currently we've only just opened up the DevNet phase. So there's we're very early in this space right now, and we appreciate your presence. So this program is Discord based. It utilizes Zeely so that you can do your quests, and basically it provides like merit based quests which allow you to increase your rank, and your rank as you increase that, it gives you more rewards for your contributions. So these rewards go from anything from utility unlocks on Discord, like links and stuff. We've got one of our speakers up here, Senth. He's just got up to the Equilibrium rank, so he's just gained a couple of privileges in Discord. I think you get to be able to post links and that kind of thing. There's just a few small things. But once you get onto the higher ranks, obviously, you get all the way up to getting the earliest possible waves of our Galactica Network citizenship, and that is just absolutely insane. So it's a bit of a long haul to get that one, but it's well worth it in our opinion. Not financial advice. I guess very quickly, Galactica Network citizenship itself, it's basically the most important status you can have within Galactica Network Cypher State. We haven't really gone into the concept of Cypher State because that's a whole podcast in and of itself. I mean, wow. Basically, in brief, the citizenship pass that you achieve will provide you with a universal basic income, validator rights, and access to governance. So there's the primary benefits. Now, the universal basic income is like probably the major one you guys are probably interested in. But obviously, validator rights actually reward you even more. But you obviously have to run a validator for those. So the universal basic income is offered by anyone who is a citizen of the Cypher State. And it essentially gives you the right to the value produced by the network in and on it. So that's there's a load of mechanisms for that, and again, too many to really say. But essentially, you will get a per epoch kind of reward in native GNet token through your universal basic income, which will be modified by various things, and everyone will get that. So again, universal. So I'm not going to go into that, to be honest, because again, that's universal basic income is an entire podcast. I'm just it's now dawning on me how much I'm going to have to speak in the next few months and years. So anyway, you can look forward to that, I'm sure. So I would just like to right now, because we've kind of got to a point where I would like to end podcast, just to slowly finish up. We will obviously be discussing a lot more, and we'll be discussing all the stuff that I haven't been able to explain, or myself, or Frederick, or Hoss. We'll be discussing that in the podcast to come. So I'd just like to right now give anyone who's on the stage right now the opportunity to give a final remark if you wish. If you just want to raise your hand or if you just want to speak, please. If you want to speak over each other, that's fine too. It's
fine. Thank you for the space again, guys. Just one last comment. You guys recently started the YouTube Shorts. They're awesome. They're done pretty well. Because I originally came onto Galactica Network about 3 months ago, and I was trying to read through the website, trying to understand what the project was about, because Swissborg was talking about it. It's pretty in-depth stuff. I gotta admit, not being natively in this field, it was a lot to stomach, and these shorts are doing a good job at digesting it down into bite-sized chunks. Good music, good clear message. So good work there. Anyway, see you guys next time.
I really appreciate it. That's
fantastic. I just wanted to ask you, how did you find out about Galactica?
Yeah, it was Swissborg. Cyrus, the founder, was talking about on one of his powwows that he's super excited. That's about Galactica Network, and told us directed us to the website, check it out yourselves, and that there's going to be some kind of, that they're super bullish on them. So naturally, we would go and see it and participate. That was about 3 months ago already.
And that was like a YouTube video, or just
Cyrus, our founder and Swissborg founder, he does a powwow once a week, and he talks about Swissborg, and then whatever new things kind of unfold with Swissborg, and that week happens to be Galactica Network. I think he was talking about some kind of partnership. He didn't say partnership, I think. It was 3 months ago, but there was some kind of link. Basically, they were excited about Galactica Network, and yeah.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I guess my last question for you: do you have a Kepler wallet yet?
In the Cosmos ecosystem?
Yeah, the Kepler wallet.
No. Definitely new in this layer one.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering, because I always like to hear people's stories about even how they got into crypto in the first place, which you nailed that. But then also, because traditionally everyone gets into Ethereum first. That's just because most people that enter the space watch YouTube, and then that's how they even get in here. And then
that's my handle, senderslayer.eth. So there we are. Got a
I love ETH too. But yeah, it's just always nice to hear how people got around it, because it gives me ideas about things, and But that's awesome, because I know MetaMask is going to be more prevalent throughout Cosmos, anyways. Because I think the future is whatever your favorite wallet is, you could just use on any blockchain. None of this, you need 75 wallets to interact with 75 different blockchains. That's not futuristic. So, but no, thanks for stopping by, and good luck, and get some sleep, and enjoy your weekend, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. I'll definitely catch up with you next time and share more of the story. But yeah, just save the host this time. It's been longer than an hour, so definitely we'll share it.
We really appreciate you coming up, Santh, really, and hopefully we'll see you here for a long time. That's kind of the goal. We really want to just really foster that really cool community relationship, and make sure everyone understands that you can just drop up and talk to us. If you have a question, please. If you have a criticism, please. We take criticism well. we'll assume it's like a constructive feedback, and we'll act on it. And again, that's one of the sections of this space going forward. At the very top of the space, we'll be reporting back to you on feedback that you give to us in the previous spaces, because I think that's a cool way of interacting. Okay, so what? Oh, please, Frederick, please carry on, man.
Also, thank you very much also from my side. I think it's really cool to start engaging with the community more and more, because I'm really grateful for all the feedback. And especially if you have questions, you can ask them in the next space. You can also ask them in the Discord. One nice thing is also that even we as a team go through the same process of getting the rank and access to this citizenship. So I'm also leveling up on Discord if I can answer your questions.
Yeah, I'll be opening my account soon. Okay, sorry, we just got up one last speaker, Rect. If you have something pertinent to say, please do, man. It's nice to have you up.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I just seen Haas was on the space and looked at Galactica Core. I'm sorry I did not do any research, just popped up like this, but I appreciate privacy, the whole Monero secret, every especially secret. Could you do like a quick explaining of what Galactica is?
I certainly can. Sure. Okay, so I need to do this as quickly as possible because we've got about 5 minutes to finish up. So, Galactica Network itself, it's an L1. It's EVM compatible, and it's based on the Cosmos SDK. It utilizes a zero knowledge based tech stack. So the goal with the zero knowledge tech stack is to introduce enough Sybil resistance and enable reputation on chain. And both those two things together allow kind of verifiable humans to begin transacting via their reputation on chain with in a private manner. So that's kind of the goal there. And really, one of the main goals is to move away from like hyper financialization of blockchain systems towards a more like merit-driven method. So that's where like our merit-driven, our meritocracy kind of meritocratic governance kinds of comes into things. So having this Sybil resistance and reputation on chain, it doesn't just enable like those primitives, it also enables whole new concepts like compliant privacy. So like the compliant privacy and the meritocratic governance, they can only really be achieved on a social chain, that, on a chain that allows social capital to move rather than just financial. What compliant privacy kind of really means is that you can transact with like compliant dApps, things like that, like a DEX that only allows people from non-sanctioned countries or something like that to exist in a decentralized manner while keeping everyone's information private. So that's the idea of compliant privacy in a very basic and fundamental manner. So yeah, I mean, basically the kind of the building blocks that we're making allow brand new forms of DeFi, governance, DAOs, just about everything, like community structures in general, to be enabled on chain. And it's a cosmic leap from just the basic, like the financial rails that we've been building so far in blockchain. I hope that's as quick as I can make it, and there's nowhere near enough depth there, but hopefully that helps.
Thanks a lot. I'm joining your Discord as we speak, trying to read up on all of it. Thanks a lot.
You're more than welcome, man. No, and we appreciate you. No, just say hi on Discord, man. We're happy to help. Okay, everyone. So I'm just gonna start wrapping this up now. It's been an absolutely amazing space, everyone. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. This has been a really nice first community space that we've run. I wasn't expecting to get so many people on, and we've seen quite a few people just come in and drop out. It's been really nice. So it's been a great first edition of the Galactica Corecast. Well done, everyone. I'm very happy. We'll do a ding. Okay, you know what? My soundboard isn't working, so forget it. I'm not going to do a ding. But you know what? It's been an absolutely wonderful space. So thank you to everyone who has joined, and thank you to all the speakers. We really appreciate you coming. Really appreciate you listening. If you could just remember, this is actually one of two spaces we host every week. We actually host another space on a Tuesday, called Into the Cypher State. So it's at the same time, 8 o'clock UTC in the evening. Yeah, if you would like to join us on the Into the Cypher State one podcast as well, absolutely fine. If you just want to join the community ones on a Friday, absolutely fine too. So the Tuesday podcast is generally myself and Hoss discussing like some of the more important kind of topics in the crypto space with a variety of really cool guests who are very knowledgeable and very wonderful in the discussions. So it's less kind of community focused. And then on the Friday, we have this community space where we get to talk to you guys and just kind of talk shop and just have a bit of banter and a bit of fun. So obviously, I like these ones. These are great fun. Make sure that you guys check the pinned tweet because that has all the information you need for the Cypher State campaign. It has a link to the Discord if you need it. You can also visit the website at galactica.com where you can kind of sign up for our newsletter, which is another requirement for the Cypher State campaign. So you definitely want to do that. If you would like to drop a like and a retweet on the space on your way out, that would be absolutely awesome. It still helps people get the recording, which is fantastic. It's nice to see those replays go up and more people getting educated, more people having fun. I would just like to say thank you very much for joining, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Galactica Corecast. Thank you very much for turning up to the first one. Have a good weekend, guys.